Hello students, welcome to class 11 Biozoology. Today we are going to learn third chapter, tissue level of organization. So in this lesson you will be learning about tissues. Tissues are group of cells. They are similar in their structure and function. So animal tissues, epithelial tissue, connective tissue, muscle tissue and neural tissues are discussed in this lesson. So tissues are organized in specific proportion and pattern to form organs. And tissues are also called as living fabrics. So if two or more organs performing the similar function together form the organ system. So now you have learned what is tissue, and another name for tissue is living fabric, and what is an organ and organ system. The study of tissue is called as histology. So we have learned what is histology also. So animal tissue is classified according to their size, shape and their function. So generally the tissue which is covering the outer body are called as epithelial tissue. The connective tissue is for support. So the tissues arranged are supported with the help of connective tissue. Then muscular tissue main function is movement, and nervous tissue is for controlling all the activities of the cell. Epithelial tissue, the sheet of cells that covers the body surface are called as the epithelial tissue. These epithelial tissues can be of glandular type because it helps in secretion. The major function of epithelial tissue is protection, absorption, filtration, excretion, secretion and sensory reception. It is an important question, the functions of epithelial tissue. Okay, based on the structural modification, the epithelial tissues are classified as simple epithelium, compound epithelium. This compound epithelial tissue can also be called as stratified epithelium. Simple epithelium composed of the single layers of the cell, only one layer of cell, and they are found in the organs of absorption, where the food is getting absorbed. After digestion, it is absorbed in our intestine through villi. Okay, so the secretion is a function. The glandular epithelial tissue, they secrete sweat and sometimes oil are being secreted. Okay, and the filtration occurs in the case of excretory organs. Simple tissues are further classified. See here you can see the classification of the animal tissue. Here epithelial tissue, under epithelial tissue we have 5 types: squamous, cuboidal, columnar, ciliated and pseudostratified epithelial tissue. Then under connective tissue we don't have any further classification. Muscular tissue there is no classification, and neural also there is no classification. Only under epithelial tissue we have another type called compound epithelium. So under compound epithelium they are classified as stratified epithelium and transitional epithelium. These stratified epithelial tissues are further divided into squamous epithelium, cuboidal epithelium and columnar epithelium. So this squamous epithelium is further classified as keratinized and non-keratinized. See, keratin is a protein that gives thickness. See, for example, your nails are being formed by the process of keratinization. Addition of the keratin protein gives the strength or stiffness to the cells. Now we will learn about the types discussed under the simple epithelium. The squamous epithelium is made up of single layer of thin layer of flattened cells with irregular boundaries. See, when you see the cell under the microscope, if they have irregular boundary, you should describe it as squamous epithelium. They are found in kidney glomeruli, air sacs of lungs, and linings of heart, blood vessels, and lymphatic vessels, and they are involved in the functions like diffusion boundary and filtration places. So the protection is not important. So squamous epithelium protection is not its major function. It has got the specific role to play in the areas of blood vessels and lymphatic vessels. Cuboidal epithelium, it is made up of cube-like cells. The tissues are commonly found in kidney tubules. Okay, so kidney tubules, ducts and secretory portions of the small glands, surface of the ovary, outer covering of the ovary, and its main function is secretion and absorption. Secretion of certain enzymes or certain sweat or oil, it can be of anything, and absorption, after the digestion the food is to be absorbed in the case of the villi. And also in the case of the kidney tubule, absorption does also occur in the case of the kidney tubule. Once the blood is getting filtered, the material whichever is wanted, it is again filtered back to the body. They are taken back to the body through the tubules. The columnar epithelium is composed of single layer of tall cells. So the cells without round are the cells with round or oval nuclei. Nuclei is plural term for nucleus. I repeat, nuclei is plural term for nucleus. Okay, so it lines the digestive tract from stomach to rectum. So the rectum is a bag which collects all the undigested waste material. Two modifications of these linings are presence of microvilli on the apical surface, that is the top surface of the absorptive cells, and goblet cells, which secretes the protective lubricating mucus. So goblet cells, it is important one mark, goblet cells helps in secreting the lubricating mucus. The function of this epithelium does also include absorption, secretion of mucus, enzyme and other substances. If the columnar cells bear cilia on their free surface, they are called as ciliated epithelium. The ciliated type propels mucus by ciliary action and it lines the smaller bronchioles. What are bronchioles? So when you have the respiratory system, external nostril, then you have the trachea, then it goes with the bronchi. Further branching of the bronchi gives rise to the bronchioles. So bronchioles and fallopian tube. Fallopian tube is a tube connecting the uterus and the ovary. So in between the ovary and the uterus you have a tube-like structure. It is called as the fallopian tube where fertilization occurs. Okay, and their ciliated epithelium are also found in uterus. Okay, so non-ciliated type lines most of the digestive tract, gallbladder and secretory ducts of the glands. So only the location you should know the names of the cells and where it is present. Okay, pseudostratified epithelial cells. See, listen, stratification means layers. Pseudo means false. When you see the cells, it seems to be layers of cell, but it is only a single cell. Then how it is seen as a layers of the cell? Because the nucleus is present at different location. Do you follow? One layer of cell is there, nucleus, one is present down, another is present up, like that, so that it seems to be two layers of cell. Okay, so it is called pseudo-stratified epithelial cell. Okay, so then here the apical surface of the epithelium. So epithelial cell picture is given. You please learn the diagrams also. These pseudo-stratified epithelial cells does also function in protection, secretion, absorption. Ciliated forms line the trachea and upper respiratory tract. The non-ciliated forms line the epididymis. Epididymis is a structure present in male reproductive structure. Then large ducts of the glands and tracts of the. Coming to glandular epithelium, the name itself tells you it is a gland. The role of the gland is to secrete. Some of the cuboidal and columnar cells get specialized for secretion. They are called as glandular epithelium. The two main types are unicellular glandular epithelium. They are found in the alimentary canal, and multicellular clusters are found in the salivary gland. Okay, on the basis of mode of secretion, that is pouring, the glands are divided into exocrine glands and endocrine glands. Okay, so the exocrine glands secrete mucus. Mucus is a viscous substance, saliva, earwax, oil, milk, digestive enzymes and other cell products. These products are released through duct or tubes. The meaning for duct is tube. Okay, once the gland is secreting something, it is released to the blood through the duct, through the tube. Then it is called as the exocrine secretion. Then endocrine glands do not have duct. Follow, this is major difference between endocrine gland and exocrine gland. So exocrine glands are ducted glands which has got the duct. Endocrine glands are ductless glands. Okay, the endocrine glands secrete hormone and are secreted directly into the fluid in which the gland is bathing. There is no duct, simply it is secreted. It is like squeezing the sponge. You have the sponge, if it is full of water, if you squeeze it just gives out. Likewise, the gland also gives it as such. There is no tube. Okay. The exocrine glands are classified as unicellular and multicellular glands. The multicellular glands are further classified based on the structure, simple and compound glands. Based on the secretory units as tubular, alveolar, tubulo-alveolar. Based on the mode of secretion, they are classified as merocrine, holocrine and apocrine. So whichever I told you now, it is here given in this table also. Glandular epithelium, endocrine, exocrine, under exocrine, unicellular, multicellular, under multicellular, based on the structure, simple gland, compound gland, based on the secretory units, tubular, alveolar, tubulo-alveolar, and based on the mode of secretion, merocrine, holocrine and apocrine secretion. So far we have learnt about the simple epithelium. Now coming to compound epithelium. It is made up of more than one layer of cells and thus has a limited role in secretion and absorption. The compound epithelia may be stratified or transitional. Their main function is to provide protection against the chemical and mechanical stress. So the chemical and mechanical stress should be overcome with the help of the epithelial tissue, that is compound epithelium. They cover the dry surface of the skin, the moist surface of the buccal cavity, pharynx, inner lining of the ducts of salivary glands. Duct means tube, and pancreatic duct, that is a tube-like structure arising from pancreas. Therefore, there are four types of compound epithelium. They are stratified squamous epithelium, cuboidal, columnar, transitional. Okay. Stratified squamous epithelium is of two types, keratinized and non-keratinized forms. So these forms of non-keratinized type are found in the esophagus, mouth and conjunctiva of the eye and vagina. Stratified cuboidal epithelium are found in the ducts of the sweat glands, mammary glands. Stratified columnar epithelium has got the limited distribution in and around the lumen. Lumen means cavity of the pharynx and urethra and glandular ducts. Transitional epithelium is found in the lining of the ureter, urinary bladder and parts of the urethra. Okay, so this all cells of the epithelium held together with little intercellular material. Intercellular means in between. Intra means inside. Okay, here we are dealing with intercellular. In between the cell, there are certain materials. In most of the animal tissues, specialized junctions provide both structural and they give the functional support. Okay, so here comes another important question, the junctions. Three types of cell junctions are found in the epithelium and other tissues. These are called tight junctions, adhering and gap junctions. Tight junctions help to stop substances from leaking across the tissues. Adhering junctions perform cementing to keep the neighboring cells together. Gap junctions facilitators help the cell to communicate with each other. Okay, by communicating with each of the adjoining cells of the cytoplasm. Then coming to the connective tissue, as you know, the connective tissues give the support. The major function of the connective tissue is to give the support. The major function of the connective tissue are binding, support, protection, insulation and transportation. Transport of the material inside the body. What are the components of the connective tissue? All connective tissues consist of three main components. The components are fibers, ground substances and cells. Fibers of the connective tissue provide support. Three types of fibers, they are collagen, elastic and reticular fibers. Connective tissues are of three types, loose connective tissues, dense connective tissues and specialized connective tissues. Okay, so coming to loose connective tissues. So in this tissue, the cells and fibers are loosely arranged in a semi-fluid ground substance. For example, the areolar connective tissue beneath the skin, that is under the skin, we have the connective tissue that is called as areolar connective tissue, and thus it gives the support framework for the epithelium. Okay, and it acts as a reservoir for the water and salt. What is a reservoir? It is able to accumulate the water and salt for further use. So they are called as the tissue fluids. They are called as the tissue fluids. It contains fibroblasts, macrophages and mast cells. Coming to adipose tissue, it is one of the interesting tissues and important question also. Adipose tissue is the tissue which helps in storing the fat. Adipose tissue is similar to areolar tissue and it is located beneath the skin, that is under the skin, and it has got the adipocytes, commonly called as the adipose. So here you can see two types of adipose tissue, that is brown tissue and white tissue. So why these adipose tissues are brown in color? Because of the presence of mitochondria. Because of the presence of mitochondria in abundance. Because of the presence of more in number of mitochondria, they look brown in color, brown adipose tissue. And lack of mitochondria, lessened quantity of mitochondria makes the adipose tissue to look white in color. Okay, so this brown adipose tissue has got this specific role to play in infants. where these infants get shivering because of the chillness. So the infant should not be suffering because of the chillness. This mitochondria will undergo the activity to produce more of heat, more in action, produce more of heat. So it is called as the thermogenesis. Brown fat produces heat by non-shivering thermogenesis in neonates. Okay. Then reticular connective tissue is also similar to areolar connective tissue. It forms internal framework called as the stroma. It supports the blood cells. Then coming to dense connective tissue. Fibers and fibroblasts are completely packed in dense connective tissue. So coming to this dense regular connective tissues primarily contain collagen fibers. So the collagen fibers are present in the dense connective tissues. So here they are present in parallel bundles. The major cell type is fibroblast. They are attached to the muscles and bones. Okay, so they are attached to these connective tissues, attached to the muscles and then the bones, and withstand great tensile stress during the stretch or during action. So it helps in managing such kind of stress. When pulling force is applied in one direction, the connective tissue is present in tendons that attach the skeletal muscle to the bone. The ligaments attach to the bone to another. Do you follow? So they give the support and it protects the tissues without undergoing any damage, muscular tissue. Okay, so dense irregular connective tissues have the bundles of collagen fibers. Collagen is a protein, so they make the, along with the fiber, they make the collagen fiber. The major cell types is the fibroblast. It is able to withstand the tension, okay, which is able to withstand the stress. Okay, so some elastic fibers are also being present. They are found in the skin as the leathery dermis. Dermis is a word concerned with the covering epidermis. Next layer is the dermis and forms fibrous capsule of the organs such as kidneys, bone cartilage, muscles, nerves and other joints. Coming to elastic connective tissue, it contains high proportion of elastic fibers. It allows recoiling of the tissue. Do you follow what is recoiling? Once it is getting stretched, it has to come back to its original position. It is called as recoiling of the tissues. It maintains pulsatile flow of blood through the arteries and passive recoiling of the lungs following inspiration. So recoiling of the lungs should occur following the inspiration so that it will be expired. So it is found that the walls of large arteries, ligaments are associated with the vertebral column and within the walls of the bronchial tubules. Specialized connective tissues are classified as cartilage, bones and blood. The intracellular materials of cartilage is solid and pliable, that is pliable and resist compression. Cells of the tissues, chondrocytes. Chondrocytes are the bones and also the cartilage. So the cells, chondrocytes are present in the cartilaginous bones, which is soft in nature. Okay, the cells of the tissues of chondrocytes are enclosed in the small cavities within the matrix secreted by them. Most of the cartilages in the vertebrates, embryos are replaced by the bones in adults. In younger stage it was cartilage, then it is replaced by bone. Cartilage is present at the tip of the nose. You can touch and see your nose. Okay, it is soft because of the cartilage bone. And outer ear, where the ear pinna also is soft because of the cartilage. Okay, and in between the vertebral column and limbs and hands in the case of the adults. Okay, they are all, the bones are, do you understand the difference between the bone and the cartilage? Okay, so the bones have the hard and non-pliable ground substance. Their bones are rich in calcium salts, right? So bones are rich in calcium salts and collagen fibers. It gives strength to the bone. It is the main tissue that provides structural frame to the body. The bone gives structural frame to the body. Bones support and protect the soft tissues inside the body. Okay, soft tissues and organs are present inside the body and it is getting protected by their bone. The bone cells whose osteocytes are present in the space called lacuna. The space where these soft tissues are present are called as the lacuna. Limb bones such as the long bones, legs and they help in severe weight bearing function. They also interact with the skeletal muscle, attach themselves to bring about the movement. The bone marrow in some of the bones are production of the blood cells. You know, the bone marrow which is present inside the bone helps in the production of the blood cells. What are the blood cells? RBCs and WBC. Coming to blood, you know much about blood, right? So what are the things present in the blood? RBC, WBC, platelets, and it helps in the transportation of the digested food material, oxygen and carbon dioxide. You know that we will learn more about blood in chapter 7. Okay. So coming to the next one, muscle tissue. Muscle tissue also we will learn in detail in future lesson. But whatever is given here is simple version. Here they are made up of myofibrils. So myofibrils, small fibers arranged together in parallel to form the muscle fiber. So muscle fibers contract in response to this stimulation and relax and return to its original position. In general, muscles play an active role in all the movements of the body. Muscles are of three types: skeletal muscle, smooth muscle and cardiac muscle. Skeletal muscle tissue is closely attached to the skeletal bones. The typical muscles such as biceps and striated skeletal muscles fibers and bundled together in parallel fashion. They are bundled together in a parallel fashion. The sheath, the outer covering is also covering the muscle fiber. Okay, and it is tough connective tissue which is covering the muscle tissue is a tough covering. It is made up of the connective tissue. Then smooth muscles, the muscle fiber tapers at both the ends. It forms fusiform. Okay, they do not show any striation. What is striation? Lines. Like small lines are not present in smooth muscle. Cell junctions hold them together and they are bundled together by the connective tissue sheath. The walls of the internal organs, blood vessels, stomach, intestine contain this type of muscle. Smooth muscles are involuntary muscles and they are not like the skeletal muscles. Okay, they are not controllable by our wish. Okay, so they do their function. Cardiac muscle, it is a special type of muscle. It is a contractile tissue present only in heart. Cell junctions fuse the plasma membrane of cardiac muscle cells and make them stick together. So communication junction, intercalated disc. Follow communication junction is seen in the case of cardiac muscle tissue. Cardiac muscle tissue is a contractile tissue present only in heart. The cell junctions fuse the plasma membrane to the cardiac muscle so that they become stick to one another. So communication junction at some fusion points allow the cell to contract as a unit. Okay, when one cell receives signal to contract, its neighbor cells also stimulate to contract. When one cell contract, next cell also follow the same. That is how it is made. Follow, you can see the diagram and you can see cardiac muscle, striated muscle and then the smooth muscle. Okay. So coming to neural tissue, you know much about neural tissue. You must have learnt in 10th standard. So neuron. So neuron, it is a unit of nervous system. the neurological cell, it constitutes the rest of the neural system. Okay, so neuroglia makes up more than one half of the volume of neural tissue in our body. When neuron is suitably stimulated, an electrical disturbance is generated. Do you know how the nerve impulse is created? Because of the potential difference, that is electrical impulse. Okay, when neuron is suitably stimulated, the electrical disturbance is generated, and which swiftly, fastly, okay, swift means fast, travels along the plasma membrane. The arrival of the disturbance at the neuron's ending or output zone triggers the event. Okay, so that causes stimulation or inhibition of the adjacent neuron to the other cell. That also we will learn in chapter 10 in detail. Follow? So far we have learned about the types of tissues, about the epithelial tissue, muscular tissue and neural tissue. So your homework is to draw this nerve cell and to take notes for the lesson. So you can draw the diagram, and also you can see the full lesson deals with name of the tissues, okay, and where it is present, that is location, and their main function. So generally its main function is protection, secretion. So please try to learn names of the tissues one by heart, and you try to write the location for each of the tissues and learn the functions. So this is one of the simplest lesson to by heart. There is no such thing to understand and learn in this lesson. It is just the location you have to learn by heart. Understood, students? Thank you, students.